And Joe Biden sends off all the right cultural messages for moderate independent voters who don't have college degrees. And Democrats are not grateful enough for what they have, in my view.
Welcome to this week's Wacky Moments of leftist extremism. It was a week where the leftist media begged you not to watch Trump on X or the GOP debate on Fox. Who better to dig up and make the pitch to ignore anything Republican than little pork chop himself, Brian Stalter.
And most people will just skip it.
Well, I hope they don't.
Because they're exhausted.
Yes, but I hope
they're going to watch you.
They are. I hope. Yes, we will be on the air tomorrow at 9, and we will have special post-debate analysis on this network at 11, which I hope people tune into.
It's in my calendar already.
Well, please, I hope so, and I hope to hear your perspective on all of it in the coming days and weeks, my friend. It's great to see you, Brian Stalter.
Thanks.
Thank you, as always, for your wisdom. That is our show for this evening. Now it is time for the last word with Lawrence O'Donnell. Good evening, Lawrence.
Good evening, Alex. And I'm going to be one who skips it, like Brian just said, because I will be sitting right here at 10 o'clock,
yes.
Doing the last word,
yes.
Doing my duty in this hour of television.
Too.
And as far as I'm concerned, that's the only thing that's happening on TV tomorrow night. I don't know anything about that stuff you were just talking about.
Yeah, no, it doesn't exist. Yeah. It's like a tree falling in the forest.
Yeah,
Alex
exactly.
Wagner and Lawrence O'Donnell will be on the air
right.
at 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock tomorrow. So please join us.
I like the big at the end. Please watch us and don't listen to Republicans. We don't like them. I mean, you can pretty much guess what their takeaways of the debate were.
There were a lot of lies tonight, a lot of extreme positions.
It was just a mess. I mean, it was a dumpster fire.
Yeah, the leftist media has nothing but negative things to say about the GOP candidates. And when it comes to Trump, they don't even want to let the man speak. Both CNN and MSNBC went wall-to-wall coverage all day of Trump's every move to and from the Fulton County, Georgia jail on Thursday. But when Trump went to talk to reporters, yeah, they didn't feel the need to hear what he had to say.
In terms of what we are looking at here, as I mentioned, there's always a chance tonight that former President Trump was going to be speaking, making remarks before he gets back on the plane. He is restricted by his bail conditions in terms of what he can say, which is what I'm just looking at here in terms of that language.
Sad day for America. This should never happen. We challenge an election.
Keep going, Ben. So we're just going to be monitoring his remarks and bring them to you if they're newsworthy.
It was certainly more important to hear themselves speak about Trump than listen to Trump, I guess. Strangely, when it comes to Joe Biden, the leftist media does nothing but heap praise upon him. In fact, they're not even sure if Democrats appreciate him enough.
And who I believe whose numbers will go up as inflation recedes, as it is, and the strong job numbers are there. And they're extremely lucky to have a candidate, frankly, who's not a member of what you would call the coastal elite. And Joe Biden sends off all the right cultural messages for moderate independent voters who don't have college degrees. And Democrats are not grateful enough for what they have, in my view.
When they aren't praising his inflation and his high gas prices, they just don't want to mention Joe at all. Which is amazing, really. I mean, the way he related to those fire victims in Hawaii on Monday by comparing the deadly and destructive wildfires to a small kitchen fire in his home 15 years ago.
And lightning struck at home on a little lake that's outside of our home, not a lake, a big pond, and hit a wire and came up underneath our home into the heating ducts, the air conditioning duct. To make a long story short, I almost lost my wife, my 67 Corvette, and my cat.
And that's why the fire was under control in 20 minutes. Sure, Joe, it's a lot like Hawaii. Strangely, the big three networks ignored Biden's comparison in their news coverage, but maybe that's because they were busy. They were probably taking a creative mathematics course in order to better slant their coverage in favor of Joe.
It comes, though, as apprehensions along the southern border increased last month to close to 133,000, but overall still down nearly 30% from last year.
Only 133,000? Are you sure, ABC News?
To close to 133,000.
Maybe you want to actually read the border numbers that you're reporting on because you're off by 50,000, but counting seems to be hard for the media. I mean, they seem to be unaware of illegal immigration until 500 illegals were dropped off near their studios in New York City on Sunday.
The U.S. is facing a humanitarian crisis over where to place migrants who are seeking asylum in this country. More than 500 migrants arrived in New York City on Sunday alone.
See, now it's a crisis in their cities. I mean, the 183,000 that crossed at the southern states in July, I mean, that's good news.
Officials touting Biden's policies for that drop.
It's a good number for Biden. I mean, who cares about those border states? But man, when 500 illegals are dropped off in a leftist city?
I mean, listen, decades upon decades we've been talking about it, but now that it is in these big cities the way that it is, it's time to pay attention.
Now that it's in their face, they don't like it. It's a lot like that Oliver Anthony song, the one that calls out the media's DC allies. That tune has taken the nation by storm, and now that it's in their face, they hate that song too.
Rich Men North of Richmond is a no-frills attack on the powerful and, controversially, on far less powerful targets as well.
Less powerful targets? Controversy? I mean, what could they mean?
Fans hear an authentic from-the-heart hit that speaks on behalf of an overlooked America. Critics hear racially tinged dog whistles.
Yeah, even though anyone who's actually listened to the song knows race is not even brought up, there's now racist dog whistles in there. It's funny how the leftist media has this tradition of hearing these racist dog whistles that no one else can hear every time they're confronted with something that they don't like. I mean, if you don't like George Soros using his money to influence elections, well, that's a racist dog whistle.
The fact that they keep throwing George Soros' name, we've talked about a lot in our show meetings, is it definitely feels like a dog whistle that is dangerous.
It absolutely feels like a dog whistle that's dangerous.
Don't want CRT in your kids' classrooms. Dog whistle.
I think when it comes to DeSantis specifically, he doesn't mind using these opportunities to blow a dog whistle.
Republicans winning an election, that's a total dog whistle.
And the Republicans then sweep into that with this divisive critical race theory, cultural, racial dog whistles.
And now if you relate to a song about struggling financially during the time of Bidenomics.
Critics hear racially tinged dog whistles.
Of course, dogs are usually the only ones that hear dog whistles.
We are so far beyond dog whistles.
Well, maybe since they're lap dogs for their Democratic masters, the media hears those things.
We are so far beyond dog whistles.
That's a dog whistle.
It definitely feels like a dog whistle.
To blow a dog whistle.
Racially tinged dog whistles.
I'm Eric Shiner for MRC-TV, asking you to head over to the MRC homepage, click that donation button to help keep videos like this one coming. Head over to MRCTV.org for the latest in videos, information, and entertainment. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe to these videos on the platforms that actually let you see us. We'll be taking a break next week, but we'll return shortly with another look at leftist media madness.